Now on the CTV News at 5, wartime threat. What century-old artifact prompted an evacuation of police headquarters? Also, in mourning, a former Lethbridge man is killed in Calgary. What his friends are saying about his life.
CTV News with Chris App.
Good afternoon. Police headquarters was evacuated today after somebody turned in a century-old explosive. The Army sent a bomb disposal team to get rid of the device. Police aren't sure if it actually posed a threat, but nobody was taking any chances. Terry Vogt reports.
Well, police weren't exactly sure what they were dealing with. Members of their explosives disposal unit felt the risk was serious enough to warrant evacuating police headquarters. It began just before noon when a man walked in with what appeared to be a rusted piece of metal and left it on the front counter.
The intent was, we think, just to dispose of it, drop it off at the police station and get us to dispose of it for him. He apparently waited for a little while, and we were busy at the front counter and couldn't get to him right away, so we just left it, walked out.
Unsure what they were dealing with, officers at the front desk checked with members of their explosives disposal unit, who then identified the item as a type of antique military ordnance, one that likely predated World War I. About 60 staff and officers were evacuated. Streets around the building were blocked off, resulting in traffic delays and forcing some pedestrians to take a detour.
Oh, they said you can't come through here. You can go around the outside.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they're taking this kind of care with it anyway. So.
Police say evacuating the building and blocking off the area's streets is a precaution because they're not sure exactly what they're dealing with.
At the end of the day, the device has been handled how many times by who knows who, and nothing has happened. But the gamble that you have is that we have this thing now, we don't know how much of an explosion it was designed to create, how stable it is now, what the detonation device might look like, how it might operate.
A robot was used to place the ordnance in a metal box so it could be removed safely from the building and taken to a gravel pit where it could be examined, identified, and rendered safe. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Police say evacuating their headquarters didn't have a major impact on service because their communication center is located in the main fire hall. The mixed martial arts community across Alberta is reeling after the death of one of their own. Friends identify Wyatt Lewis as the man who died after being stabbed in Calgary early on Saturday. Lewis was well known in mixed martial arts circles. He was originally from Lethbridge, where he trained. He stopped competing in 2008, but continued to train and even teach the sport when he moved to Calgary. Wyatt Lewis was considered an expert in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Lewis died early Saturday morning after being stabbed outside a party. Police say a fight had broken out between two groups of people. They say when they arrived, they found two men suffering from stab wounds. Lewis was pronounced dead in the hospital.
Well, I know Wyatt now for at least 13 years, and I mean, he was a super passive, really nice guy. I mean, you hear that lots when people pass, but he really is. He fought for us in MFC 1, and we've always kept in contact, and he's, you know, father of 4, family guy, and it's just a real tragic thing that happened.
An autopsy is scheduled for Thursday. So far, no arrests have been made. A medicinal marijuana user and civil rights activist has pleaded guilty to drug possession charges. Neil Magnuson was originally charged in 2008 while on a cross-country tour promoting the decriminalization of marijuana. Today, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 1 day in jail, which he will get credit for. 4 others facing drug possession charges also pleaded guilty and were referred to the Alternative Measures Program. Magnuson says it's an example of why the laws need to be changed.
I do think that's an indication that the courts realize that this is a waste of time. I think it's a good thing that people don't get a criminal record. Still not happy that there's penalties at all, but sure, it's a step in the right direction in my opinion.
Magnuson has since obtained a permit allowing him to use marijuana to relieve chronic pain from arthritis. Dory joins us now with a look at the weather. Dory, the new school year started today. How's the weather going to cooperate?
Yeah, it started off a little damp, Chris. The kids were having to walk to school in the rain this morning, or get dropped off in the rain, as it were. But we are looking at that scenario repeating itself, but late in the day tomorrow. And then after that, it looks like clear sailing for the weekend. Still looking at those warm temperatures, 26, 27 degrees. So it's going to be a nice one, Chris.
Thanks, Dory. Edmonton police are hailing a Taber man as a hero. They say he risked his life and his Hummer to save 4 children. It happened when the kids were crossing a busy street near an Edmonton mall on Sunday. They were in a crosswalk and several other cars had already stopped, but police say a driver talking on his cell phone sped towards the kids, not even noticing them. Well, Taber resident Daryl Krushelnicki was leaving the mall parking lot, saw the kids and the speeding car, and pulled right in front of it.
Obviously, I could see from to my right that there was absolutely no way that that vehicle could see the kids crossing. Nor the lights indicating that pedestrians were crossing. And I proceeded to slow that vehicle down. I just kind of intercepted it. He was going to go straight through.
The car took off the front end of Krushelnicki's Hummer, but the kids were fine. The man behind the wheel of that car is now charged with dangerous driving. It's the first week of school, and police are reminding drivers about traffic safety.
Ready to proceed. Check, check. Proceed.
School safety patrollers were out early this morning, making sure fellow students made it to class safely. The program is a reminder to slow down and watch for kids in school zones. This year, there are 350 patrollers at 10 schools in Lethbridge. The message from the AMA and police is a familiar one.
Slow down, be prepared for the younger kids when they go into school. We do have people that actually work the crosswalks, school patrollers. They're very young, they're very small, and hopefully that they'll be a bit more visible. If they have the sign out, stop for them.
Definitely, it's a shared responsibility. The drivers need to be watching and paying attention. Our patrollers are out there and they try to make eye contact with the drivers so that they know that they have that communication with drivers.
That 30-kilometer-an-hour speed limit in school zones is in effect Monday to Friday from 7:30 to 4:30. The superintendent of School District 51 says they're projecting an increase in attendance this year. Barry Litton says early numbers suggest a boost for the second straight year. New teachers are also being hired for the first time in 3 years.
Certainly all the indications are very positive. We're anticipating about a 2% increase in student population from a year ago. We do know that our kindergarten numbers, they were way up last year and they're increased even more this year. And so we've been able to hire some additional staff to accommodate the students, and we're moving forward.
Final enrollment figures should be released at the end of September. And more than 2,500 students are now enrolled at Lethbridge College, bringing the total to nearly 4,000. That all began with new student orientation. Sal Guy is best known for developing the For Real television documentary series and its website. He also works with singer-songwriter Kanam. Guy says he uses the power of media to educate, inspire, and empower young people. Today he spoke to a large crowd of freshmen at Lethbridge College.
I love it when I get a chance to come and speak with young people and connect, because it's cool that I get to share my story, but I'm always re-energized. And when you see a bunch of young people in a room with all this opportunity in front of them and coming out of a structure of high school and moving on to post-secondary education, all I really wanted to pass on was that they have this radical opportunity to truly change the world.
The first day of class at Lethbridge College is tomorrow. Meantime, the University of Lethbridge pub may be named the zoo, but it was the parking lot that resembled one today. Construction on the west lots means some students and staff have to park on the other side of campus. Right now, crews are pouring concrete sidewalks and curbing. Next week, they'll be installing new lighting, painting stall lines and landscaping. The construction is affecting many of the lots closest to campus, meaning staff and students had to purchase parking permits for lots a bit further away.
But it's a good 10-minute walk to my first class, so that's not good. And in the winter, they don't have sidewalks over there, so we'll be going through snow, which won't be fun at all. But if the parking lot was finished, I'm sure I could have gotten a parking spot closer.
Well, it's a nice day out, so I'm not too cranky about it today, but yeah, it'd be nice if they could finish it up.
Construction is expected to be finished in the next couple of weeks. Redevelopment of the other parking lots at the U of L will get underway next summer. Now here's a look at today's closing numbers.